In the early hours of October 9th, 1943, the calm Mediterranean Sea erupted. Within minutes, an American destroyer was gone. Her name was USS Buck, a ship that had hunted submarines, guarded convoys, and fought through the fiercest waters of World War II. But that night, the hunter became the hunted. Before we dive in, tap like and subscribe to Yesterday Now. It keeps history alive and helps stories like this one sail on. This is the story of courage, chaos, and the few who live to tell it. Commissioned in 1940, USS Buck was a Sims-class destroyer, fast, lean, and lethal. Named after Civil War hero Frank H. Buck, she carried around 270 sailors. Most were barely out of high school, proud, confident, and ready for war. The Buck was built for speed and surprise, slicing across the Atlantic while escorting convoys threatened by German U-boats. She was part guardian, part gunslinger. And her crew knew it. But her story began with disaster. In 1942, during a night convoy, Buck collided with the transport ship Awatia. The crash ripped open her bow and flooded compartments. For months, she sat crippled in dry dock. Many said she'd never return. But sailors are stubborn. By early 1943, Buck was patched, polished, and back at sea. The Mediterranean was a battlefield. The Allies were closing in on Europe through Sicily and Italy. German planes prowled above, submarines hunted below, and the Buck was right in the middle of it, escorting landing craft during Operation Husky, bombarding coastal positions, and shielding troop ships under constant attack. The work was relentless, but her crew delivered. Then came their moment of triumph. On August 3, 1943, off the coast of Sicily, Buck's sonar picked up a contact. The Italian submarine Argento. General quarters sounded. Depth charges rolled off her stern and thundered below. Moments later, debris and oil surfaced. Buck had destroyed her target. The crew cheered. Their confidence soared. They were young, victorious, and unstoppable. But the sea has a long memory. By October, Buck was patrolling off the coast of Salerno, Italy, guarding the Allied landings of Operation Avalanche. The water looked calm, but danger waited beneath. German submarine U-616 had been shadowing the coast for days. Its commander watched through the periscope, calculating distance and bearing, then fired. Just after midnight on October 9th, Buck's sonar men caught faint echoes. Before anyone could react, 2 torpedoes streaked toward her starboard side. The first hit forward of the bridge, a violent blast that ripped through the hull and plunged the ship into darkness. The second struck seconds later, igniting the forward magazine. A flash, a roar, then chaos. Within 4 minutes, USS Buck was breaking apart. Below decks, men were thrown against bulkheads as water surged through shattered hatches. Some never escaped. Those who did reached the surface amid burning oil and twisted metal. Depth charges armed for combat exploded as the ship sank, killing sailors who had already made it off. Then came silence. The Mediterranean swallowed her whole. Through the night, survivors clung to rafts and debris. The smell of oil hung thick in the air. Some prayed. Others floated in shock, waiting for dawn. Of the roughly 270 men aboard, more than 170 were gone. At sunrise, lookouts aboard the destroyer USS Gleaves spotted movement on the waves. Rescue boats launched immediately. British landing craft joined in. One by one, men were pulled from the sea, burned, bleeding, and barely conscious. By sunset, 97 sailors had been saved. They were the last survivors of USS Buck. Lieutenant Commander Millard Klein, Buck's captain, went down with his ship. Back home, telegrams marked missing in action arrived at doorsteps across America. Weeks later, confirmation followed. USS Buck sunk, Salerno coast. For many families, the war suddenly had a face and a name. German naval records confirmed what had happened. U-616 had fired the torpedoes and watched through the periscope as the destroyer vanished. The commander's log read, "Target destroyed." No survivors observed he was wrong, but only just. Months later, U-616 itself was sunk by Allied aircraft. The hunter and the hunted shared the same fate. Buck's loss forced hard lessons. Destroyers were quick but fragile. A single torpedo could end a crew. The Navy strengthened sonar systems, revised patrol tactics, and overhauled rescue training. In death, Buck still served the fleet. Today, the wreck of USS Buck rests deep off Italy's coast, a steel tomb for more than 170 sailors. At naval memorials across the United States, her name is etched in bronze. Families still leave flowers and photos beside her plaque. She wasn't the largest ship or the most famous. But to her crew, she was everything. Every warship carries stories of courage, but few end as suddenly, or as heroically, as Buck. She hunted in silence, fought with fury, and vanished with honor. If this story moved you, help keep their memory alive. Tap like, subscribe, and share this video so history's echoes are never forgotten. You can find more stories like this in our full naval history playlist. Because the past isn't gone, it's waiting to be remembered.